So we're at it again. This time, the 343 commitment and still counting is taking Lieutenant Glenn Perry from FDNY. On 9/11, he was actually assigned to Battalion 12, but previously, before that assignment, he was on Ladder 25 there with Division 3 and collapse rescue the Pride on the Westside. So that's primarily what unit I'm going to be calling out during this climb. So this climb is dedicated to his wife Peggy, his son Glenn Jr., and daughters Megan and Caitlin. So this 110 is to take another brother to the very top of the towers. This is a 343 commitment and still counting for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. So our brother actually started the FDNY late in comparison. He was 41 years old, and in 1982 he joined the New York Police Department. He worked there for 8 years, but following in family's footsteps, his father was actually a retired captain from the FDNY. And so he followed the footsteps, and in 1990, he joined the FDNY. It said he was actually in Brooklyn at first, and I can't remember the exact units that he was assigned to. And then he went to, I hope I got this right, it's Engine 84, Ladder 34, or it's flipped, I don't remember which one it is. But he was there for several years. 1999 was promoted to lieutenant. It said after that he did about a year at the academy, and then after that, prior to 9/11, he went to the Pride of the Westside of Manhattan, which is the Ladder 25. So this climb is to carry our brother, who is a husband to Peggy, a father to Glenn Jr., Megan and Caitlin, a firefighter with the FDNY, previous NYPD, all the way to the top, to the 110th floor. This is his climb. With honor and respect, we're going there now. So, some of his likes were playing golf, cooking, and reading. But his biggest like was spending time with his family, his wife and 3 kids. So, this 110 is for them. So they will always know that their father will always be remembered and never forgotten. This is the whole reason we climb, to keep their memories alive. And right now, even though it was assigned Battalion 12, according to every bit of research, for Ladder 25's part of the Westside, this is Lieutenant Glenn Perry for the FDNY. Taking him up. 110 floors we go. Top of the towers. Finishing their footsteps. All the way up. As I said before, it said that in 1991, one of his accomplishments he had was completing the New York City Marathon. In 1990, prior to joining the FDNY, it said you could see Glenn at the Staten Island Railway Terminal running the stairs with a large oxygen cylinder on his back, getting prepared for the academy, prior to getting picked up in 1990 to the FDNY. My brother was 41 years old on 9/11 when he responded as part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history on the back of the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. They will never be forgotten. They will always be remembered. This is why we climb. And this is the 343 commitment, coming to you live from the gym at Sunland Park Fire. Taking another brother to the very top. 82 left on the completion of this climb. Now right now this climb is for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. As I said before, primary assignment before 9/11 was Ladder 25 housed with Division 3 and the collapse rescue. Taking him all the way up for his wife, Peggy, son Glenn Jr., and daughters, Megan and Caitlin. This is your climb, taking them all the way to the top. One thing I did read, greater love hath man than to give his life for someone else. Our brother again was a selfless in service, both red and blue. Started off in 1982 as a NYPD, and I believe it said one of his other brothers was NYPD at the time. His father was a retired captain with the FDNY, so he joined on with the FDNY. Taking him all the way to the top. Another reason our brother joined the FDNY was because the hours were more friendly for him being able to spend time with his family. Because our brother was a husband and father, a very loving one, from everything I read. His initial assignments were in Brooklyn, and he transferred to Manhattan. In 1999, he was promoted to lieutenant, and he worked at the training academy for about a year. Right now, it's his time. It's honoring him. The 343 and the Enfield County. During the original rescue effort to the recovery effort. That is why this memorial exists. To give their stories, to share their legacies, and carry each one 110 floors till they reach the symbolic top of the towers, going up with me, each one. It's not for me, but them, for the families left behind, for the FDNY, and for our country. This is why we climb. And right now, it's for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. 41 years of age on 9/11. It said that he had the last conversation with his wife Peggy, but he was drowned out by all the sirens when he was responding to 9/11. Right now, this climb is going on in his honor and memory, with honor and respect for the sacrifices made on and after 9/11, 2001. A total of 7 verticals included in this climb. Right now, we have 4 left after this one. Taking our brother to the very top. Pushing him up as we speak. This is why we climb. To finish their footsteps. To keep our brother's memories alive. This is the original 343 climbs prior to taking the Enfield County. Those who worked the pile or days, weeks, and months on their climbs to the top. Right now, this is for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. Again, it said he was assigned to Battalion 12 on 9/11, but his main assignment was Manhattan, part of the Westside, Ladder 25, housed with Division 3 and Collapse Rescue 1. For his wife Peggy, son Glenn Perry Jr., daughters Megan and Caitlin. He will never be forgotten. Instead, he will always be remembered. This is why we climb. Our brother in 1991 had said he completed the New York City Marathon as an accomplishment he had. Again, a multidisciplinary brother. Initially started off as a brother in blue in the NYPD. 8 years later, FDNY. Following his father's footsteps, a retired captain with the FDNY. And I believe he had one other brother on the force. Taking him up with honor and respect. Going there now. This is why we climb. To share their legacy. To push them all the way to the top. Keep their memories alive. This is the 343 commitment. And still counting. 110th floor. Memorial stair climb. For Lieutenant Glenn Perry. Battalion 12. Ladder 25. Manhattan's part of the Westside. Housed with Division 3. Collapse Rescue 1. I believe is the Collapse Rescue unit number. Please keep in mind, everything is actually by memory. So if some things don't recall right away, I'm doing the absolute best that I can to keep everything out there. This climb is dedicated to Lieutenant Perry's family, his wife Peggy, son Glenn Jr., and daughters Megan and Caitlin. Coming up on the 4th of 7 verticals. Here we go, 4th of 7. Pushing up another vertical. In honor of his service to the city of New York, as both a police officer in 1982 to 1990 for 8 years, to his time as a firefighter from Brooklyn to Manhattan, from the training academy to becoming a lieutenant in 1999. There at Ladder 25, part of the Westside. His last assignment was on Battalion 12, according to documents I've read, on 9/11. Pushing him all the way to reach the 110th floor. This is why we climb. To give them honor and respect for the heroism, bravery, and valor that was shown on and after 9/11, 2001. Going up to the 110 for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. Pushing him up. As we go up right now, every step, another one closer to the very top. Alright, so we have a little bit of a rest breather. Keeping going. 3 more verticals. A little bit after that. And this climb is done. For Lieutenant Glenn Perry, my brother right here, with the FDNY. Part of the greatest rescue effort in United States history, where up to 25,000 were saved. On 9/11, 2001. Following the recovery effort on Ground Zero, with the end still counting, those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months until the operation was closed, they will never be forgotten. Those who are sick, these climbs are to give honor for the sacrifices that were made so others could live and to bring resolve to our country. For his wife Peggy, son Glenn Perry Jr., and daughters Megan and Caitlin, I promise you, your husband and father will never be forgotten. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors. Taking Lieutenant Glenn Perry, Ladder 25 is part of the Westside Manhattan, along with Division 3 Collapse Rescue to the very top. And we're just about to cross the over halfway mark on this 110 floors. Going there now with honor and respect till we reach the top on this December 26th, 2020. For our brother who started with the NYPD in 1982, 8 years later, followed his father's footsteps, a retired captain with the FDNY. Joined the FDNY also because of the schedule, so he could have more time with his family, which he loved spending time with, and was a great husband to, and a father. He loved to play golf, he loved to read, and he loved to cook. It said he completed the New York City Marathon in 1991 as an accomplishment. 26.2 miles is truly an accomplishment. I had an opportunity and did the Disney Marathon. 26.2 is a rough run, but he accomplished it. Right now, we got 2 more verticals for this 110 floors. 72nd floor and counting down till we reach the 110. As I said when he came on, started off in Brooklyn with a tour there. Went to, I hope I get this right, Manhattan's Ladder 34, Engine 84, or if it's switched around, I apologize. And then he went, 1999, became a lieutenant, promoted, went to the academy, and then went to part of the Westside with Ladder 25. So right now, it's his honor and give him respect for our brother who sacrificed his life and all the other brothers who did the same so that others could live. Honor, valor, bravery, and heroism was shown that day. Upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the heroic rescue efforts. I don't know if you can see me, but it's really fogged up now. So I'm pushing it still. I can see through the mask just a little bit. Right now, carrying our next brother up. The 261st brother going to reach that top. 82 left to go after this climb. To the 110. We're rolling right now. Each step, a step closer to reaching the symbolic top of that tower. This is the second to last vertical now of this 110 floor Memorial Star climb for Lieutenant Glenn Perry. Part of the Westside, Battalion 25, Positive Division 3, Collapse Rescue. But it said he was on Battalion 12 on 9/11. Carrying our brothers with honor and respect for the sacrifices made. On and after 9/11, 2001, followed by the recovery effort. At the end, still counting. Those who passed from 9/11 illness to work the pile for days, weeks, and months until the rescue effort was called the recovery effort. I mean, please bear with me. Everything that I'm saying is given by memory. So if I get off a little bit, it's all memorized. And I'm trying to bring it back out when I'm climbing. So this is for his wife, Peggy, son Glenn Perry Jr., daughters, Megan and Caitlin. Taking them all the way to the 110th floor. After this last vertical, we'll be around the 101st floor. For our brother, right here, he deserves all the honor that this climb is trying to give to him. All right, so here is the last and final vertical. So our brother, Lieutenant Glenn Perry, started off in 1982 within the NYPD. I believe it said that he had a brother on the force there. 8 years later, to be able to have more time with his family and follow his father's footsteps, a retired captain with the FDNY. He moved over to the FDNY. It said that prior to beginning the academy, you can see Glenn Perry in the Staten Island Railway Terminal doing stairs with a very light oxygen canister slung in his back. Our brother was a brother, a husband, a father, a son, a lieutenant in the FDNY. Never forget, always remember the sacrifices that were made on and after 9/11/2001. Part of the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved on the back of the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. I'm literally completely fogged up. Let me see if I can move the camera so you can see the last vertical has been completed. Our brother was 41 years old when he passed away, giving his all so that others could live. Left behind his wife, Peggy, and 3 children, son, Glenn Perry Jr., and 2 daughters, Megan and Caitlin. This is with honor and respect given. The sacrifices that were made so that others could live. My brother was with Ladder 25, Manhattan's part of the Westside, housed with Division 3 and the Collapse Rescue Unit. To the very top we go with honor and respect. This is the 261st climb since this started. Right now, we're taking them up, finishing those last footsteps. In honor of their lives lived, their families left behind, the FDNY, dedicated to everyone to include our country. We can never stop remembering. We can never forget. This is why we climb. This is why the 343 commitment initially was started before the end still counting were added to account for those who passed due to 9/11 illness, that upon completion of the original mission, the 343 commitment, I'll take up as many as I can with honor and respect until I physically cannot climb anymore. This is a mission. This is a journey. This is all about remembrance and giving honor and respect. And right now, this is the last floor for Lieutenant Glenn Perry, for his family, wife Peggy, son Glenn Jr., daughter Caitlin, and Megan. This is his final steps. And with that, thank you for joining me on this 110 floors for our brother, Lieutenant Glenn Perry. Lieutenant Perry, to your family, the FDNY, and our country, Rest easy, brother. We got it from here.